We all love a beautiful wood fire during winter. We have just gone out of winter, spring is nearly done and summer is here. But did you know that what's left behind in your chimney is something that is absolutely golden for your garden? Wood ash is that powdery residue left after burning natural untreated wood. And what's so amazing about this ash is that it is packed with nutrients like potassium, and often we call this potash, which is essential for flower productions, fruiting and overall plant health. Wood ash is basically nature's mineral supplement for your soil, but like any supplement, you want to use it correctly. So this fine grey powder we call wood ash is what is left behind from the wood that we burn, and is actually one of the most powerful tools you can add to your garden. I'm going to show you exactly how to use wood ash safely and why you should definitely not throw it away. Wood ash is alkaline, meaning that it can neutralize acid soil. So if you are struggling with clay or forest soil or any soil that is low in pH, this wood ash will be able to neutralize and bring things back together. Potassium is essential for strong roots, disease resistance, and improved fruit and flower production. So if your plants look weak or have poor flowering, potassium may be the missing piece. Wood ash adds it naturally. So if you've ever dealt with something called blossom end rot on your tomatoes or your peppers, it could be very frustrating. But calcium is the way to fix it, and it's that what we go to our nurseries and buy, where you can just add some wood ash and that will absolutely help your plants recover and push out these beautiful fruits that you are wanting, because blossom root rot is your plants lacking calcium. You can also use wood ash as a barrier for soft body insects like your slugs and your snails. Slugs and snails do not like wood ash. It's like a drying agent. It's like a barrier for your plants to sprinkle some around the base of your plants, and slugs and snails will not cross that barrier because they know that it will just dry them out. So first, always make sure the ash is completely cool. Then apply it lightly and evenly. General guideline, I would say, would be about 2 to 4 cups per 100 square feet. You can apply wood ash anytime during the dormant season or even in early spring. Just scatter it gently and rake it into the top couple inches of your soil. So adding a small amount of wood ash to your compost also helps balance acidity and adds valuable minerals. Compost rich in potassium and calcium goes straight back into improving your garden beds. Fruit trees also love potassium and calcium. All you have to do is do this once a year. So what I do is that I just remove the bark chips and I lightly sprinkle some of the wood ash around the base. I mix it in with the soil and I just put the barks back on. The only fruit trees I am not putting this in is my lemons and my orange. I have just topped these pots with acid compost, so I'm not going to be touching them with this. So this is our compost bay, and we've got it covered right now because the girls like to take all that straw and throw it on the ground. This is the cleanest the ground's actually been, but hopefully we'll be able to open it again. And we've just turned this last week, or actually we turned this 2 weeks ago. Last week it was just raining every single day. We've not had the chance to turn it, but all you want to do with your ash wood is lightly dust it every few layers, not too much ash, because it can make the compost overly alkaline. So think of it like a seasoning, just not the main ingredient. And then with your seedlings, you just want to sprinkle it a little bit around the base, not too much, just to protect them from all these little pests and that actually love to eat new seedlings. And do this after it's rained because it will just get washed away. Even though wood ash is incredibly beneficial, there is a few places you cannot use this. So it'll be things like your blueberries, your strawberries, and potatoes. What will happen with the potatoes, they'll start scaling or scabbing, and that you don't want. One thing I have learned is to never ever mix the wood ash with any nitrogen sources like manure, because what will happen is that nitrogen will convert into amino gases and will be released into the air. So try to avoid doing that. So don't use wood that has been stained or varnished, because they have chemicals in it, and if you put it in your fire, it will release toxins into the air. So we put obviously untreated wood into our fireplace, and that is what breaks down into wood ash, where you are able to then return it back into your garden. I would recommend getting a soil test in the beginning of the year and maybe in the middle of the year. So I don't add too much into my raised beds and in my fruit plants. I do this once a year, and it's only because of the leftover wood ash that I have in the chimney. I just return it back to the plants that actually need wood ash. And remember, more does not mean better. You can harm your soil and your plants if you put too much wood ash. Your pH levels will just go sky high and your plants will basically suffer.
She moves like a map with no borders, a whisper caught in the wind. I see her boots at the corner cafe with a notebook and a grin. She's chasing skies.
So wood ash is one of those old-fashioned homesteader secrets that are still being used today. It's free, it's natural, and it really has been used for centuries around the gardens. So why not use it? If you use wood in your chimneys, just return it back into your garden. So my garden is thriving. They've just gotten a boost of some wood ash, and now the magic is just going to happen, and hopefully we get a little bit of rains just so that the wood ash can go into the soil and the plants can just soak it up. If you guys enjoyed this video, you might enjoy this next video on how we do our compost bays and how we return it back into our homestead. So I'll meet you guys all over at that video.